r/ask Reddit. What are some of your personal rules that you never break? If you make a promise to someone, make sure it's one you can keep. If it's something that might not happen, I'll say I will do my best on this, but I can't promise anything. I try very hard to keep my word. Good. This. Or alternatively, but on a similar note, I promise to try my best. You're still making a promise, so it feels as strong. But you're also not breaking your promise if it's something you can't do. Never make fun of somebody's weird laugh, as it could be the only time somebody is truly happy, and to take that away from somebody else is just unnecessary. You're annoying when you're happy. When there is a wreck or some other type of disturbance on the road that is causing traffic, I refuse to look at it. After being in an hour-long traffic jam that was caused because drivers were slowing down to look at a wreck on the opposite span of a bridge, I promised myself I would never be a contributor to such an infuriating occurrence. I know that it has no effect on traffic whatsoever, but at least I did my part. After living in California, I love you. I love people like you. I never buy cheap alternatives for things that I know I'm going to use often. Every time I've done this, I end up getting more annoyed each time I use it. My rule is the opposite. I always buy the cheap thing first. If it works well, then I've saved money. If not, then next time I upgrade to a slightly more expensive one. It's surprising how often the budget products perform as good or better than the luxury ones. Except tools. If the cheap tool could ruin something I've worked on, then it's not worth the saving. I clean up after myself. That means taking trash from the table to the bin, and taking my carts back even if it's pouring down rain. I don't leave messes or things for someone else if I know it would piss me off or make more work for the employees. My sister is the exact opposite of you, and it's infuriating. She does this thing where she'll leave the last bit of something, the last cookie or a little bit of juice, on purpose so the next person to use it is forced to throw the trash away. The worst part is the trash cans are literally 15 steps away from the kitchen and she still can't be bothered. Take the very last cookie or bit of juice, then return the empty container to the shelf. When she complains, insist you have no idea what she's talking about. I don't reach out and pet a dog I don't know. I'll squat down and let it approach me if it wants. Making a good first impression. Doggy style. Always ask the owner before you do anything. Don't walk directly towards a dog you don't know. Aim your body and feet at a slight angle. Don't stare into their eyes. A quick glance and then look at their mouth. Once you're about 1.5x your reach away, squat down and hold your hand out in a fist. It's important you're on the dog's eye level or close to it. Yes, that means getting on the floor for toy dogs. If dog approaches, let him sniff and stroke the underside of their jaw, neck side of head. Don't go straight for the ears. Feel free to make soothing noises or speak in the butty-raised voice you have for bonus points. Don't make overly sudden movements or loud noises out of the blue. When a friend or family member asks you for your candid opinion or advice, gently tell them what they need to know, not just what they want to hear. The biggest one is, no matter how bad things get, don't cheat on your partner, no matter what. Mine is similar. I refuse to cheat or be the one someone cheats with. I never get angry at accidents or punish people for something they didn't intend to happen. Along the same lines, I don't care whose fault it is. I just want to know what happened and how it's being fixed. That second rule, oh god yes. Too often I have people in my line of work start complaining about problems while I'm just saying, it's over. The problem is here. What are we going to do to fix it? And then another wave of, well, Janice here. At which point I get super frustrated and just dictate what we are going to do to solve the problem. I don't litter. I grew up during the Keep America Beautiful campaign. I still pick up litter when I'm at parks, campgrounds, in the wilderness, etc. We went to some BLM land Wednesday and ended up filling our trasharoo. Some people are really pieces of shit. Never lock the car door without my keys in my hand. And I'm looking right at them. Rule 17. Don't turn your back on bears, men you have wronged, or the dominant turkey during mating season. Learn your rules. You better learn your rules. If you don't, you'll be eaten in your sleep. If I am in a group of 3+ people, I will always talk to everyone. There's usually always one person who is quiet because of some reason. Maybe wasn't there for something we talked about or just can't find a way to contribute. I know that feeling all too well. Just standing there with nothing to say feels awkward and uncomfortable. I don't want anyone to feel like how I used to. I know it doesn't seem like much, but to that one person, it might have made their day feeling included. Keep a neat and tidy workspace. I build cabinets and furniture for a living. Having your workspace and tools in disarray can lead to mistakes easier than one might think. I can let my room get messy at times, but I always make sure that unfinished food and plates that had food on them are taken care of right away. It just grosses me out to leave that stuff around my room. I also make sure to drink water after every meal, and really, every drink I have that isn't water. No texting and driving. If I'm a passenger and you are texting and driving, I will call you out on it. It's one of the very few things in life I will knowingly be an a-hole about. Everybody knows not to do it. There is really no excuse. Whenever I'm waiting in line to buy something at a store or restaurant, I have a personal rule that if the person in front of me can't pay for their groceries for whatever reason, such as card declining, I pay for them. It's not something that comes up too often, but I've been in that situation where the cashier rings up all your stuff and then my card declined. It was a huge relief and made my day when the guy behind me paid for me. Now I try and pass it on. I did this for a lady who lost her $10 bill and she was so thankful. Turns out she dropped it in the parking lot and the workers found it about 5 minutes later. She had tears rushing down her face when I insisted that she just keep it. It was nothing to me but so much for her and her daughter. She had gathered coins to buy milk and bread and other necessities in the middle of summer, so I told her to just pass it forward. I've been there, and if I can help someone else I will. Taking my trash to the trash bins when I'm done eating in a food court. It blows my mind when people don't do it and try to justify it by saying there are people paid to clean. Well, let's shit on the floor, then. If someone does something that really irritates me or rubs me the wrong way, I mention it immediately. It keeps it from festering or growing more irritating over time to a point where it could damage that relationship. Mine is the opposite. If it still bothers me in 3 hours, bring it up calmly. If after 3 hours it doesn't seem like such a big deal, it's not a battle worth fighting. If a friend flakes on a planned meeting more than a couple of times in a row, I'm not going to initiate contact to plan another one until they do. The ball is in their court at that point, if they ever want to hang out. Warning: this rule will result in your circle of friends dropping by at least 90%. I always cut off talk shows before the musical guests come on. I don't bring my phone to the dinner table at home. Don't go to the supermarket on an empty stomach. Never overstay your welcome. Always leave way before your welcome has expired. I refuse to leech off of people. I have this weird internal ledger of people giving me things money and always look to balance it out or wind up ahead, as in I've done more for them than they've done for me. It's not like a weird pride thing. I just always look to repay in kindness or favors that are given to me. No matter how badly someone treats me, I always try to treat them with respect and kindness back. It took a long time for me to hone that in from doormat to whatever it is now. For example, my sister called me and immediately started cussing me out, and instead of yelling and cursing back I just said no and hung up and refused to talk to her until she chilled out. If a customer is rude to me at work, I just maintain my composure. This one is hard still. TBH. I believe I am a kind person at heart, so I try not to lose myself by reacting poorly to rudeness. Also, it really fucking drives people nuts when you don't react like they want you to. The happiness and success of my friends is mine own, so whenever a friend is doing something creative, playing a show or putting on an exhibit, or having a booth open at an event, I try really hard to show up, and when I can, buy some stuff. You can melt a pal's heart by randomly running into her with her band's t-shirt on, or their artwork is on your walls, and sometimes, I can rarely guess when, they need you to be that fan when the bar is empty, or it's raining, or whatever. It's usually easy to do. I usually want to do it even if it is not, and it's all positive for everyone. It's also a great way to make new friends when you see folks like that who need some appreciation at an awkward time. Shit, just a couple months ago I made pals with a Chaos cover band, which was crushing a disinterested pool bar 200 miles from home. How lucky can a guy get to even see such a thing? Much less make pals with the musicians dedicated enough to do such a thing, and they could tell that I knew it was special. The one guy out there who was taking it all in. Afterwards we talked about it, and we discovered that they were hitting it as hard as they could because they could see that I was loving it, and I was loving it because I could see them hitting it as hard as they could. That mutual interest cranked a killer show out of 5 interested people. 4 of them the band, and 100 zombies. Too long didn't read, show up and care about how awesome people are. Same rules I raise my sons by. Kindness matters even if no one else will see it. Kindness will not always mean niceness. Kindness starts with yourself. You cannot give what you do not have. Never drink until a blackout. They call me kitten for not wanting to lose my control, but I actually enjoy keeping my control and being more extroverted. Don't duck with money. Always pee before going to bed, even if I don't feel like I need to. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.